Hello, welcome back. In this next part of the build we're going to look at the foot plates, running plates, also how we're going to fasten the cab onto the back of the boiler, and then also start to look into the beginning of the building of the four-wheel trailing truck. What you'll see with this is that the actual trailing truck itself is an internal frame, and the outside framing that you see on the prototype is just going to be added as a cosmetic detail after. This raised section just in front of the cab I've reproduced here on the Z gauge one with a piece of brass annealed and bent to match the top of the boiler and fastened on with a 16BA screw going into a 16BA tapped hole in the top of the boiler. I'm going to solder that to the front of the cab, and that'll hold the cab in place while we do some more work. Once we've got the running plate shaped, we're going to sweat them apart with a soldering iron, and to fit them to the actual side of the boiler we're going to drill and put a brass wire through the boiler to be a support at the front, and the two little ledges that we formed on the top of the firebox sides will support them at the back.
The best of things that I couldn't give her. The journey did her well.
Initially I'm going to build a four-wheel trailing truck with two identical size sets of wheels. On the rib prototype the front wheels are slightly smaller than the back ones, obviously to match the taper underneath the firebox. But we're going to use a pair of standard Märklin freight stock wheels. I can always drop a smaller pair in later on when I identify something that's slightly smaller diameter. The basis we're going to use for the inside frame is a stock piece of brass channel. I think this is K&S brass channel. And what we're going to do is we're going to slot the axles out with cutting disc and then do most of the shaping. We've previously tried this sort of four-wheel truck with the conversions we've done of the Märklin 462 that comes in the starter set, which we've converted into the nickel plate road L-Class 464s, one of the mainstays of the passenger work before the Alco PA1s came. The example behind me has run hundreds of hours at shows faultlessly. One of the trickiest bits I've hit so far is the unique, well relatively unique, arrangement of three safety valves on top of the firebox. These are arranged in a triangular fashion, and what I've ended up having to do is silver solder three pieces of brass rod together in a triangular pattern, and then anneal some brass strip, thin brass strip, wrap it round and soft solder it, and then reduce it down in height. The difficulty comes when you actually come to hold it, because it's really small and fiddly, and you need to hold it quite firmly because we're actually going to curve the underside where it fits on top of the firebox. But it does add a distinct look to the back of the sort of sequence of feed water heater, chimney, dome, sandbox, and then this three-legged arrangement of safety valves. The next thing to do now we've got it to this stage is to actually give it some testing. We've got a show at Leyland in August of 2011, so we'll give it a good blast round Cuyahoga for a weekend at the show and just see how it behaves.